My name is Peter Brooke and I look after the multi-asset class funds for the Old Mutual Investment Group. And I'm here today to talk to you about the fact that we have our fourth finance minister in less than 16 months. And this is basically bad news. It's bad news for South Africa in terms of it will reduce the growth that we're expecting. It means that the nascent recovery that we were enjoying will become stillborn. I think it will also have a cost in terms of the cost of capital. We would expect ratings downgrades from here as a result of this, and that will mean a higher cost of capital, more borrowings, so it's bad news for South Africa. However, it's not necessarily such bad news for investments, and the reason for that is a typical multi-asset class portfolio or a solution has a very high percentage of offshore assets. However, this is not necessarily such bad news for investments. And the reason for that is a typical solution has got 25% of its assets offshore, and it's got another further 25% invested in investments like Sasol, British American Tobacco, physical gold. Now, all of those benefit from a weaker rand. So if you think about the last year, where South Africa has been getting better, the rand has been getting stronger, returns have actually been not that great because they've been dampened by the strength of the rand. Our Old Mutual Balance Fund has got roughly 50% of its assets that benefit from a weaker rand, and roughly a third of assets benefit from a stronger rand through SA property, SA bonds, banks, etc. So a well-diversified portfolio means that you should be able to ride out this volatility. The second really important point is investments is a long-term game, and very often we react in a knee-jerk manner to short-term news, and I can give you lots of examples of that. After Nenegate, we did the opposite of what most people were doing, and we bought money back, we bought rands. When Donald Trump was invested, we bought shares, and those investments have worked out well. So the challenge, I think, is when we look at this, it is short-term bad news, but long-term, does it lead to change? Does South Africa come through this as a better country? And therefore, actually, you want to be investing quite strongly into these assets. Irrespective of what happens in the longer term, we do expect a volatile short-term environment. And in that environment, you need an active asset manager acting on your behalf. A great example of this is John Orford, who manages the Old Mutual Stable Growth Fund, bought 5% US dollar cash ahead of this announcement at very good levels. So that means he's done that. He's not doing it after the event when the rand is already weakened. Sometime in the future, I expect him to go the other way and bring that money back when the timing is right. And when we've got a very volatile environment like this and you have quite quick movements, most people can't change as quickly as a professional fund manager. And that's why it's important to stick to your solution where the manager is acting on your behalf. So in summary, I would say this isn't great news. However, our funds are well diversified. If you take a longer term view, I think there is some hope in terms of change. And finally, this is not the time to be panicking out of your solution. Stick to your plan because the manager will be acting on your behalf.